Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. It is such an honor to be your host. My name is Catherine Cespedes. They know me here as Kat, and I am so excited for this evening, and I know you guys are too. To start off, we have a wonderful artist, Kenny Dye. She has such a beautiful, strong voice, and you will hear her Oklahoma roots just come right out as soon as she starts. So please give her a warm welcome to Miss Kenny Dye.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I just got back on the, I was on tour visiting other centers for spiritual living all up and down the coast of California, Oregon, and Washington. So I'm glad to be here this evening. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sitting on an old trail, no one passing by, no one's there to hear me as I cry. And all the birds are singing, taunting me with songs as I'm lying hopeless, dead and gone. And you know where you're not here. Nowhere, filled with fear. Lying all around me are pieces of the earth, life that's fallen down to find rebirth. Reaching towards the sunlight, trying to escape, to live beyond the rubble and the shade, and new life. It finds a way to keep growing and always change. And I'm not going back to what I've known. The line's been drawn, yeah, I'm moving on. And I will not pretend to play the game. It's time to change. We were never promised a life without some pain, and even sunny skies send us rain. And all that we've been given is for us to choose what we want and what we've got to do. And I'm nowhere that I'm not meant to be. And I see it, I see my relief, and I'm running free. And I'm not going back to what I've known. The line's been drawn, yeah, I'm moving on. And I will not pretend to play the game. It's time to change. And I'm not going back to what I've known. The line's been drawn, yeah, I'm moving on. And I will not pretend to play the game. It's time to change. And we're nowhere we're not meant to be. Oh, so run, just run free. And we're nowhere we're not meant to be. Oh, so run, just run free. I'm not going back to what I've known. The line's been drawn. Yeah, I'm moving on.
Yeah, Kenny. Yeah. Woo.
Thank you, Kenny. What a perfect song. What a perfect, wonderful light she is. I remember the first time that I saw Kenny, it was on a Sunday morning, and I was like, her. I'm going to book her. And Kenny has been so wonderful with giving me times and dates that she can be here with us. And I want to thank you, Kenny, for playing with us here at Wednesday Night Power Up. You'll be hearing a lot of thank yous because this is the last Wednesday night Power Up that we will have at Seaside. We will be going on a hiatus, but stay tuned. Something wonderful, something grand, something big is moving here at Seaside. So stay tuned. It's gonna happen. It's happening. It's already moving. So it's it's bittersweet. It really is, but I've learned so much, and I have grown so much. I remember the first Power Up, I came out here, and I just started going, and I don't remember what I said. And now I have a better understanding of the words that I say and how I say them, and I've gotten to know you. So I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for sharing your consciousness. And if you're watching online, I want to thank you for constantly tuning in, watching every Wednesday. This has been an amazing run. But like I said, stay tuned because something is stirring. Spirit is here. Spirit is always here. And speaking of Spirit being here, we have a wonderful practitioner this evening, Audrey Nicole, who is part of the Seaside Center Practitioner Core Council, and she's also heading up the Next Gen Retreat. So please welcome Audrey Nicole.
Thank you, Kat. All right, everybody, you know what time it is. Settle into our chairs a little bit. Get comfortable. Sink into your body. If it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes with us. Feeling the ground beneath your feet. Allowing your body to feel heavy as it sinks deeper into the chair. As you and I and we sink deeper into this present moment right here and right now. Where I know the grandness of this thing that I call God. I know the magic and power of Spirit. I know that God is the thing that breathes in and through all things. The magic that fosters every incredible idea. The divine timing that brings people together at the perfect time for the perfect culmination of things ready to be experienced. The love and the light that is felt in the presence of a beloved, that is Spirit. That peace in your heart and in your bones when you're witnessed by someone who loves you. The joy and the laughter and the children as they play, that is Spirit. Because Spirit is all that there is in and through all things. And as such, I too am the place that Spirit is. Spirit has its being in and through me. And as I know this for myself, I know this for each one here, physically present with us, joining us in the community online, and those thinking about us right now. I know that each one is Spirit in form, arriving perfectly in this moment of divine time, to come together, to power up, to connect, to explore, to rejoice in community, learning even more of how we can expand and be greater, truer, more powerful, more glorious, more raw expressions of exactly who and what we are, because it is perfect. Right in this moment, knowing the perfection of each one here, not in the future, not when something changes, but right here and right now, honoring and recognizing the perfection. The perfection in each one, the perfection in this evening, the perfection of Kimjera's powerful message, the perfection of the brilliance of Kat's hosting, Kinney's music, and Jim's accompaniment. For this and so much more, I am grateful. My heart is full, ever expanding in gratitude. For this and so much more, knowing that the power and the perfection, the exact nature of the law, I know that as these words are spoken, it's already done. So I rest, I relax, I sit back, and I release. Together we can say, and so it is.
Thank you, Audra. She left us in such a good space to go within and discover the reason why we got into our cars, got online, so that we would be here today. So we're going to have Jim noodling as we go within to find our intention, to find the purpose, to find the words as to why we are here this evening. Taking a deep breath. And exhale to go in. Gently fluttering our eyes open, coming back into this room, coming back into this space. Welcome. And here, as a community, we get to share those words that came to us. So you may go ahead and shout them out. For me, I got joy, I got love. Gratitude for what is and what is becoming. You came to the good place, Denise. Connection. Love. Got that one too. Awe. Oh. Abundance. Peace. Inspiration and community. And for all the intentions that have been said and all the intentions that have not been said, together we say, and so it is. All right, I was waiting for this moment. I was like, it was really bubbling up inside of me to introduce our speaker for this evening. Kimjera is, I said this earlier, she is like consciousness on legs. She has been, she grew up in this movement, and she has been the one of the key players in having Power Up from the very, very beginning when we had the visioning of what we wanted it to look like, how we wanted it to flow, all the edits, all the changes in order, all the emails that went out. Kimjera was there. And even though I have been here as the face, Kimjera has been in the background, really helping. For the most part, she has been the foundation of Power Up. So I want to give her a grand welcoming for her talk this evening. Please welcome Kimjera Whittington.
Aw, thank you. You always have to like side hug so that like the mic doesn't like come off. That was so sweet, thank you. It was beautiful. So as Kat said, it's bittersweet, but we are so, I mean, honestly, I just have such excitement right now for the future. And so I think, you know, when a door closes, something opens. And so I really am just sitting in the gratitude and the knowingness that this is, like Kat said, something's like like creating itself right through this moment right now. So thank you for being here tonight. I'm filled with love and gratitude for each and every one of you. So my talk title today was supposed to be, if you were here on Sunday, it was supposed to be the wisdom of balance. And so I don't know how Spirit sometimes we just don't get along. Because, Reverend Christian, sometimes you have this like grand idea, and like I had all these ideas and everything was kind of there, and it was like it just wasn't flowing the way that I wanted to. And it was because Spirit kept knocking on me saying, Marianne Williamson's coming. You have this beautiful quote that you absolutely love that speaks so much. And I just felt called to talk more about wholeness. So you guys get to join the journey with me creating wholeness today. And I know if you're here, you're called to this message because you were in my thoughts as I was creating. So when I think of like this whole idea, it takes me back pretty much to my childhood. And I think of when I was like yay big, because I was born and raised in this teaching, probably the equivalent of my son Braxton's age, 8 to 10 years old, and running around. And the affirmation that I learned so young was, I am perfect, whole, and complete. Perfect, whole, and complete. So it didn't matter what happened in my life. Like I could go to school and I could maybe do bad on a test. That's okay. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I knew that. I could go home and have a disagreement with my mom. That's okay, Mom. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I knew that saying inside and out because for me, that was kind of a foundation of how I could experience life, and that it made me feel like I was always okay. Like everything was always okay. What I learned is that as a child, you hear these words, you see them, you say them, but I don't know if I ever truly got them. Do you guys follow me? What I mean? Like, did I feel what it meant to really be whole? Did I understand really what that meant? It was more of a mantra and affirmation, which, if we think of our founder, Ernest Holmes, what does he always tell us? Change your thinking, change your life. Says it all the time, right? That was the foundational message. So I was doing good work. I was changing my thinking every single time I said I'm perfect, whole, and complete. And of course, things tended to work out just the way that I wanted them to. My life was wonderful as I moved forward through that thinking process. So when something wasn't right, I could get my thought process right back on track, which is what it was meant for. But I think Ernest had a little bit of a deeper message there, and that's that we need to actually feel it to the point that it's like in our body. Is everybody following me on that? And that was the piece that I had to learn over time. And I think when I read Marianne Williamson's quote, I just was so incredibly inspired because she really takes it to a whole new level for me. And this is what she says. She says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is not our light that most frightens us. I take that back. It is not our darkness that most frightens us. It's actually our light. She says, there is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people don't feel small around you. So your playing small does not serve the world. We are all meant to shine as children do. And so as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give permission for others to do the same. As we allow ourselves to step into and be liberated from our own fear, we unconsciously allow our presence to liberate others. When I think again, like how beautiful and profound it is that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. That's not what I thought she would say. I just didn't get that would be her message, because we tend to think of the negative side of what we have that is the challenge for us. But it's actually not that. It's actually that we could stand in our truth and actually show up in a way that is incredibly powerful. So as I was going through this and kind of just feeling the energy of what it meant to be that, I thought, well, why do we sometimes not find that power within ourselves, and why do we almost self-sabotage ourselves? Like, how does that happen? Because I feel like that's kind of the process that we go through, is there's these moments where we're actually trying to step in, and then something falls apart. And I think of those that play the lottery. And if you think of those that win millions of dollars, right? They have said over and over again that they wanted that, they win it, and then what ends up happening? They lose it. Yeah, they lose it. And we literally wonder, well, why does that happen? Like, you wanted to be a multimillionaire, but somehow they either give it away because they can't, they don't, that it's the pressure of it all. They've got people that come in that want from them. They're not sure how to say no. Those bring up a whole lot of other feelings. Sometimes they just make poor decisions, right? I think it's because they're not sure how to step into being all of who they are, into that wholeness, and they don't know how to be a multimillionaire. See, we think that that's easy, right? Oh, hand me a bunch of money and it should just be a piece of cake. That should just be like amazing. But what happens is, if you do that and you actually get it, now you have to be it. You have to actually express as that, right? And I'm not just talking about money, that's one aspect, but that's just life in general. Like, you want that amazing relationship, you got to step in and you got to be that amazing partner. You got to be that amazing communicator. You got to collaborate all of a sudden. And if you're used to being on your own, well, that's a whole nother story, right? That becomes a whole different perspective. And sometimes we don't necessarily know how to do that appropriately. I think that concept of having to be something is that concept of having to understand our truth of wholeness, of having to understand that we are really perfect all along, but can we know that for ourselves at a deep level so that we can invite in what we're asking for? So I don't know if you guys have seen the TV show This Is Us. Have you guys seen that? Okay. So if you haven't seen it, I apologize in advance. I'm going to spoiler alert a little bit here. But it is one of my absolute favorite TV shows, and I highly recommend it because what it's about is really interpersonal relationships. It's about families and interpersonal relationships. What's really amazing about how the producer did the show is they take a family and 3 what they consider triplets. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but we're going to call it that for the sake of the talk. And they take it from when they were kids or teenagers or, young adults, all the way through to where they are today in the same episode. So if you can picture in your mind all of us that ever wanted to look back on exactly the moment when a belief system developed, exactly the moment when we made a decision to not like our bodies, or to not think we're beautiful, or to not feel worthy, or to not trust. And what the show does is it shows you kind of how that developed and then takes you forward. And how are they acting as adults because of what they developed from when they were young? At least that's how I see it. And so to me, I just absolutely love it. So there's this one scene, there's a character named Kate, and she's one of the triplets, and she is extremely overweight as an adult. As a child, you can see that she has struggled with her weight. It's been an ongoing thing with her. And so as she's struggling with her weight, one of the episodes is when she's a teenager, and it's beautiful because she is basically applying for college, but she wants to go to a music school. She wants to be an artist. And so instead of submitting an application, she actually has to do a tape, right? You have to send in like your singing. You have to sing and send it in. And her dad wants to videotape her. This is, again, 20, 30 years ago when videotapes were brand new, and he just got one. And so he thinks she's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. So he wants to videotape her, and she does not want to be seen. She wants to just be heard. So she wants to just tape record it. So the scene takes place where she's tape recording it as a teenager, and he is standing back in the doorway with a video camera, and you see through their cinematography through the lens of the video camera, and she is gorgeous. And she has no idea. And it's like you're seeing it through his eyes, through her dad's eyes, and to me, through God's eyes. Like, what does she really look like? And it's a beautiful, powerful piece. And then you fast forward, and she's very obese, and her, again, spoiler alert, her dad has passed away. But the reason I think her weight just really took off, a lot of it was because she blames herself for her father's death. And the way that the story goes is she's every year on the anniversary of his death, she's watching the video. And she's watching how he saw her. And she's feeling how he saw her. And so, you know, this whole concept of him passing away is, you know, the house burns down and everybody gets out and we think everybody's okay. And then unfortunately, she, being a teenager, is so upset because her dog is still in there. And her dad, being the loving father that is, runs back in to get the dog. Right? Who wouldn't do that? He loved her, unconditionally loved her. And so he didn't care. And you think it's going to end there, but no, he makes it out. And then he eventually, inhaled too much smoke. But because of that, every year on the anniversary, she watches this and she sees something very different. And she can feel her father in that. And I really found it so amazing that often if we could see ourselves the way God sees us, we would see that and feel that wholeness of who and what we really are. Your playing small does not serve the world, right? Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people don't feel small around you. That's what Marianne Williamson says. We shrink. Why do we do that? Why do we make ourselves smaller so that other people don't have to feel insecure? I don't know. We do it though. I think it's human nature. But imagine if we could stand in our power the way that we really are, the way that God knows us as. Imagine we could do that. There's something very magical there when we can. I think that the challenge is, now some of you might be saying oh, I stand in my power. Oh, I am power. I own my power, right? You saying that? Yeah. Power is my middle name. That I get that. I get that feeling of some of us do feel really good in that. And some of us, maybe that's just a little bit of a more difficult area. But if we can stand in our power, there's something magical that can take place. There's a story from the Olympics that I just fell in love with. And I don't know if did anybody watch the Olympics? Yeah, winter? So if you watched figure skating at all, you know about Adam Rippon. Yeah. He was an amazing American figure skater. To give you a little history, he is a proud gay man. And if you know figure skating, that's not an okay thing to be, right? That's just not how the sport has been. There was something great that happened this year at the Winter Olympics. See, he was trying to be part of the Olympics 4 years prior, and there's a lot of videos and tapes of him talking about that and basically sharing that he didn't think he was ready. Looking back, he realizes he wasn't ready. Now, we all have those moments in our lives where we can look back retrospectively and go, yeah, that's why that didn't happen, right? There was something that wasn't supposed to be part of my experience at that point in time. Adam had that, but what he thought, from what I read and saw, was that it had to do with his skating. See, I see it so differently. I think he wasn't ready to make the transformation and change that he did for everyone, and it took 4 more years for him to get there. See, Adam didn't win gold, But he came out and did interviews and talked so proudly about being a member of LGBTQ community, being a gay man. He was beyond proud. He didn't win gold, but he skated his heart out. He jumped better than anybody. He landed everything. He had all his glitter on. He did his jazz hands. He shined. And if you go back, and I highly encourage, go back and watch if you can find any videos on it. He didn't win gold, but he changed the hearts of America. People felt something brand new. He was the talk of the entire Olympics. He was the most beloved of the Olympics because he decided to be himself. He wasn't going to apologize. He wasn't going to change who he was. He was proud for the first time. Like most figure skaters decided to come out after their career was done. They didn't come out during, and they didn't come out before. Oh, heck no, because they would never get anywhere. But he changed something. He didn't win gold, but he changed the hearts of the world. Like literally people across the world see this differently. The whole sport has changed because of him. Like imagine that you could step into your power and not shrink yourself down and create that kind of amazing transformation. Like imagine. See, we don't know what we're going to do. We don't know how we're going to transform the lives of somebody else. We have no idea. Adam didn't. He just showed up. He just showed up and skated. He just showed up and said, I don't care. He figured he wasn't going to win. And what's interesting is I think of like Michael Bernard Beckwith, and he says, sometimes the worst day for your ego is the best day for your soul. Right? Like, I'm sure Adam got off the rink and said, and I'm sure he cried, and I'm sure he felt horror. I'm sure he said, I know I'm not going to get it. But I am telling you, he skated, and he had people feeling this love and energy and devotion that they just didn't have before for all people, because he represented that. I just found it so inspiring and so beautiful, and it so clearly says exactly what Marianne Williamson is saying for us to be proud and to try and really step into exactly who and what we are. Oprah Winfrey has another really great quote that I loved. She says, every time you state what you want or believe, you're the first to hear it. It's a message to both you and others about what you think is possible. Don't put a ceiling on yourself. So how many of us put a ceiling on ourselves? How many of us decide that we're going to be less than who and what we are because we're either, again, unsure? Are we self-sabotaging? Are we finding a reason that we might not get it? So instead of being disappointed, we'll just back out ahead of time? It happens. But what if we didn't? What if we challenged ourselves to just be proud and to step forward? Ernest Holmes in The Essential Earnest says, you're greater than the sum total of all the experiences you've had. I love that. I love that. We're not who and what we think that we are in the past. And Marianne Williamson says, as we step into our own power, like as we allow ourselves to shine, we allow other people to do it. That's pretty powerful. I never realized that if I stepped into being something of my greatest self, that I could potentially allow other people to. I was having a very deep conversation last night with somebody important to me, and I was preparing for this today, and I just got it. I got it. Like, you have to be authentic. You have to be who you are, and even if other people don't like it or don't get it, it's okay. It's okay. Because when we're our true self, we're empowering other people too. When we are stepping out of our own fear, we're empowering other people too. That's what naturally happens when you are who you are. You don't really know you're doing it. You're just doing it. There's a great poem that I loved, and It's by Courtney Walsh. She says, "Dear human, you've got it all wrong. You didn't come here to master unconditional love. That is where you came from and where you'll return. You came here to learn personal love, universal love, messy love, sweaty love, crazy love, broken love, whole love. Infused with divinity, lived through grace of stumbling, demonstrated through the beauty of messing up, often. You didn't come here to be perfect, you already are. You came here to be gorgeously human, flawed and fabulous, and then to rise again into remembering. But unconditional love, stop telling that story. Love, in truth, doesn't need any other adjectives. It doesn't require modifiers. It doesn't require a condition of perfection. It only asks for you to show up and do your best. That you stay present and feel fully, that you shine and fly and laugh and cry and hurt and heal and fall and get back up and play and work and live and die as you. It's enough. It's plenty." So I think as our souls speak, as we allow ourselves to be ourselves, to be authentic, to be the bright lights that we are, then we ultimately get to experience that power. We get to experience that wholeness. We get to step into that truth. We get to feel it and know it, not just say it, because that's where the place that it comes from. And so with that, I would like to leave you with a quote from Brené Brown. She says, "Stop walking through the world looking for confirmation that you don't belong. You'll always find it because you've made that your mission. Stop scouring people's faces for evidence that you're not enough. You'll always find it because you've made it your mission. The true belonging and self-worth are not goods. We don't negotiate their value with the world. The truth about who you are lives in your hearts, and our call to courage is to protect our wild heart against constant evaluation, especially our own." So I say that we need to fight for what we want, right? We need to step into that power. We need to claim it. And as you do that, stand tall, know who you are, know your light, know what you've come here to be. And I believe that the world is going to be a better place for it. So will you say with me in closing, I take back my light. I am my power and I own it. Again, I am my power and I own it. And so it is. Thank you. So I'm going to have Kenny come back, and then when she's all done, we'll move into prayer.
Thank you. That was great. Getting lost in a cloudless sky. My thoughts are running wild in my mind. I feel the wind rushing over me, reminding me to take the time to breathe and not worry about the next step, and just enjoy living in the moment. I believe in life, I believe in love, and I believe in laughing when I fall down. It makes it easy getting up, and I believe the sunshine can bring healing to your life, just like the way that it is healing mine. So don't you say that it's too late for you to shine, 'cause I see your light. All it takes is a tiny spark to ignite the light that lives inside your heart. So go ahead and let it shine. You share yours and I'll share mine. We'll make the world brighter each day. Step aside and let love lead the way. I believe in life, I believe in love, and I believe in laughing when I fall down. It makes it easy getting up, and I believe the sunshine can bring healing to your life, just like the way that it is healing mine. So don't you say that it's too late. Don't you say that it's too late. And it's okay if you have a day when you're just not feeling right, 'cause I'll be there to hold your hand. Oh, and together we'll fly. Oh, we'll fly. And I believe in life, I believe in love, and I believe in laughing when I fall down. It makes it easy getting up, and I believe the sunshine can bring healing to your life, just like the way that it is healing mine. So don't you say that it's too late for you to shine, 'cause I see your light.
Perfect sound.
All right, let's just take a moment. I wanted her to sing that song because it was so beautiful. And so as we close our eyes, just breathe in. Just knowing that the presence of the divine is right here, that there is this amazing presence, this powerful universe. It is the essence of our breath. It is the deepness in our soul. This light is God. It is the energy that we feel. It is the movement. I claim in this moment that I am 100% divinely connected to this amazing source. For what I know for myself, I know for each person here that we are the essence of love, that we are the power, the beauty, that we stand in our truth at each and every moment, knowing that our arms are being surrounded by the arms of the divine. And so I claim right here and know that this service has been beautiful, that the message that was heard right in this moment was very clear. What spoke were the words of God. And so I know that as we move through the wisdom, the clarity comes forth, that there's answers to our lives. I claim in this moment that there's a power in standing up and in stepping in and being present and in sitting in that feeling of wholeness, claiming it, knowing it in our bodies, so that as we can move through the daily of our lives, that we move through with grace, that we are able to express with ease, that what shows up is us in full action, providing to the universe, to all of those we come in contact with, the true essence of our authenticity, so that they too can shine, that we rise up instead of shrink down, because we know that the more we step in, we allow others to do the same. I breathe in this message, this universe, this love, this energy, and know that there is a divine truth right in this moment, and I call it good. I call it powerful. And so in this moment, I just sit in the gratitude of this service, of power up, of everything that has been created and what is yet to come, knowing that it is perfect. And I release these words into that beautiful law. For law is the doer. It is the creator. It is that energy that moves through each and every one of us and makes things just happen. And so it is.
Woo! That was awesome. So this is the space and the time that whatever came up for you, whatever questions, whatever thoughts, whatever's come up for you, you get to talk to with the person next to you, behind you, in front of you. Don't all run to Reverend Christian. I know you went to. So look around, someone that you've never talked to before, someone that you've never had a conversation with before, and have this conversation. We'll give you about 2 minutes to talk about what you just heard this evening.
What?
Well, as per Jim, yes. Okay, so I'm going to invite Kimjera back up. I'm gonna come down there with the mic. So I want to know what was happening. What did you guys talk about? Go ahead and raise your hand. And if you are watching online, go ahead and send the comments. I will get to you after I get off stage, and Kimjera will as well. So I'm very excited. I'm coming down with the mic, and you get to share your conversations.
I loved all the chit chatter that was happening.
I didn't want it to stop, but it had to. So go ahead and raise your hand, but not all at the same time. I did do cardio, but not that much.
Well, I had the pleasure and privilege of meeting your husband, and what a wonderful man.
My better half, I know.
Yeah, what a wonderful guy. So very nice to meet you. So, and could you give the name of the author of the poem again, please?
So, good question. I actually knew that the Marianne Williamson quote and the poem people would want, so I printed them. Yay. So you have a copy in the back in the social hall that you can take home with you.
I told you, consciousness on legs. She knew.
Well, yes, we did. We had a great conversation, and it kind of gone on for a long time. I heard him say connection, and that resonated with me. And just to be back in a community feels just amazing, because you can just kind of go on. And so just that connection is it filled me up. So.
That's great. Yay.
Thank you so much. That was really a great talk, and I like the way that you wove the stories in. So, in particular, the story about that movie series. So, what came up for me is that I have been playing small my whole life through tragedies that came up, and so it is good to know that it takes a while. Life has to unfold first before we became, get up on stage and speak like that. But it gave me a lot of awarenesses about where I am still in my process. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
So it's more family time. So I got to have a conversation with Braxton, which was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and what comes to mind, I'm going to ask you a question actually, which is, initially I was thinking that Braxton obviously is very proud of you, but the sense also I got was of gratitude in the relationship of pride and gratitude. Any comments?
Wow. You know what? My comment would really be this, he's talking about my son, Braxton, who's 10, for those of you online. He's just filled with so much wisdom. And I think that, there's, some people just come on this earth in their old souls. I feel like that's Braxton. We got out of the car coming here, and he was going to go buy a football with Dad because I was here an hour early. And he says, Mom, you're going to be amazing. I mean, you know what I mean? He's so self-aware of, outside of himself. So, I love that you're grateful. And you said so it is. I did. I was like, dang, awesome. Thank you.
All right, we have time for one more. Oh, wow, so many hands.
Yay.
There really are. If you can't see it, there were 3 hands.
Yeah. I love it, because sometimes we don't have as much talking. This is great.
Okay, wow, this is so much fun. My question is, so you want to, be in your light, you want to be your best, but sometimes you might hurt someone's feelings if you outshine them. In other words, they'll feel bad about themselves. So how do you handle that?
Good. That's a really good question. And I think the lesson in this is that's their work to do. It's not your work to do. Your work is to show up and be the best self that you can be and not apologize for that. One of the great things that a friend of mine taught me not long ago, and I want to do this, and every year I forget, so I've got to put it in my calendar, but she said every year on her birthday, instead of becoming a year older, she was going to become a word, because she didn't want to keep talking about how much older she was getting. I was like, that's a great idea. So her word a couple years ago was unapologetic. And I was like, I literally looked it up. I was like, that's what I want to be, unapologetic. You want to just be you. And if they have a trigger or reaction to that, we want to love them through it. We're not trying to throw it in their face and rub it in their face. It really comes from what's the intention behind it. And as long as the intention is positive and pure and loving, then that's all that you can ask for. And you can be a loving and supportive friend, but you don't need to shrink down. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Kat. It's the last one, so we can go.
I'm coming.
I'm making an executive decision.
I'm almost there.
I just wanted to share, because way back when I had those feelings of, because sometimes I feel so good that I feel like it's exploding out of me, And I think of those things, but I always come back to Marianne Williams, because I love that quote as well. But I think what happens is when we're in that center, where we're just feeling good and feeling God and feeling centered and just passionate about life, what happens is when you relate to someone else is you're feeling so good that you also see the good in that other person.
It's true.
And you naturally, wow, you look at that. I love this today. Look at that, You know what I mean? And then they're feeling good because you're seeing it in them, and then they're feeling it in themselves. So whenever you get to that spot, just think of that. And again, I agree, the intention. It's the intention behind it. And if the intention is good, It's good. It can only
Yeah.
be good.
That's great. Thank you.
Can I just jump in here real quick? I got the,
I was like,
where?
where is that coming from?
I want to say cat running around. I had the privilege of videoing some of the ministerial students when they were working with Dr. Christian, and of course got to see and hear Kimjera some of the first talks that she practiced at. And I just want to publicly tell you, you have come so far. Reverend Christian would agree. You're in your power. You're smooth. It's beautiful. And
Thank
you're moving
you.
in tears tonight. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
So
you.
with that being said, I'm just very proud of everyone, honestly, because we came from please ask a question to now there's voices coming from everywhere. So I think it's a beautiful space to give you the space to talk about the call to action.
Okay. So the call to action tonight, I wanted to take a little bit of a different twist on it because normally we do a call to action and then the next week we ask you to kind of talk about whether that resonated with you and did you do the things that came up. But because this is the final, I found this wonderful clip. Again, I'm a movie buff. If those of you have seen the movie Eat, Pray, Love. Yeah. So this kind of describes the where we are with this right now, where I am as I'm moving into taking my ministerial exams and, you know, hopefully getting a letter of call from Seaside, hint, hint, and, and you know, getting to play here even more in new ways. So this clip I wanted to show you as kind of a final, like, wonderful little message to give to you.
And if you are truly willing to regard everything that happens to you on that journey as a clue, and if you accept everyone you meet along the way as a teacher, and if you are prepared, most of all, to face and forgive some very difficult realities, and if you are truly willing to regard everything that happens to you on that journey as a clue from you, and if you accept everyone you meet along the way as a teacher.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's okay, a little technical difficulty. This is good, you're gonna wanna hear this.
It was so good you had to watch it twice.
Even
Big
if it's
and
small,
little.
just get it up there.
If you are truly willing to regard everything that happens to you on that journey as a clue, and if you accept everyone you meet along the way as a teacher, and if you are prepared, most of all, to face and forgive some very difficult realities about yourself, then the truth will not be withheld from you.
Felipe?
I can't help but believe it, given my experience. I decided on my word. Attraversiamo. It means let's cross over.
So as we move into the next phase, I love the word attraversiamo. And I feel like together we will all cross over. And so it is. And with that, I would love to call our ushers forward. This is the time of the service when we get to give of our heart and our financial abundance. And we get to really celebrate the good that has come into our lives, because what we really know and understand is through the process of circulation, that what goes in and what you receive is what flows out, and vice versa. It's just a universal truth. And so for those of you who have the auto tithe card, I know you're going to drop those in the bucket. And for those of you that have a donation, you can do that as well. If we can together say the affirmation of abundance. This gift I give is God in action. I give it in joy. I give it in love. I give it in gratitude for all the good in my life, and so it is. And thank you to all of those online as well for all of your love and support.
This gift I give is God in action. Give it in joy. I give it in love. I give it in gratitude for all the good in my life. And so it is.
So it is.
And so it is.
So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here this evening. Thank you for sharing your beautiful consciousness. Thank you for sharing your beautiful smiles, your tears, your happiness, your stories. Power Up wouldn't be so strong and so powerful and so revitalizing if it weren't for you. Mm-hmm. So I want to give a grand round of applause to everyone sitting in the seats and to everyone who is watching, because you deserve it, and this is for you. Yeah! I don't even need a mic. And I want to thank Steve, and I want to thank Melanie, and I want to thank Gregory. Thank you so much for being here. And Ed Reeves, who has always been here for every Wednesday night, taking care of us, taking care of the sound, taking care of the visuals. Thank you guys so very much from the bottom of my heart. And I want to thank Timothy, and I want to thank India, who have been helping with the visuals. And if it weren't for Timothy, we would have no visuals, we would have no camera, we would have nothing. So thank you for being here every Wednesday, for volunteering your time. Thank you, Timothy, and thank you, India. And Ginny is never in the room when I say thank you. So everything is right and in divine order. Thank you, Ginny, for being here and for being here every Wednesday night. And Dennis, I missed one of you. Okay, well, Dennis has been here, and Dennis and Ginny are always here every Wednesday night, and they support me, and they encourage me, and they encourage us. So Dennis, thank you so much wherever you are in the building. Thank you, Dennis. And we have Audra Nicole, who had two hats on this evening. She was up here on stage, and she did our prayer invocation, and now she's holding the light, holding the space. Thank you so much, Audra, for your consciousness and for being here this evening. And we have Jim Bianchi. Thank you, Jim, for all the noodling on all the Wednesdays. For creating the music, for talking to the artists. Jim has really helped so much, and it's been such a pleasure to work with you. So thank you so much, Jim.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you. And Kinney Dye, my goodness.
She's so good.
Thank you, Kinney, for saying yes and for being a part of our team. You are amazing. Your voice, your sound, your radiance. Thank you so much for being here.
Yay.
And I want to thank Kimjera for being, we're going to have to talk later, for being here and for being a part of Wednesday night and for being a team player. Thank you so much, Kimjera. You are amazing.
And real quick, I thank you. I want to thank you, Kat. And from everybody, we're just so grateful for everything you've done. Like, literally, this could not have happened without you. You held it together. You were the one who was here every Wednesday night. And talk about growth. You own your power. Like, I'm just so proud of you, and all of the mentoring and I'm just so proud of you. These are for you.
My favorite color. And I want to thank Seaside, and I want to thank Reverend Christian for giving us this opportunity. I just got here and he was like, you can do it. And I was like, I can do it. So thank you for believing in us. Thank you for giving us this chance and this opportunity. And I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see what else we do here at Seaside. So thank you, Reverend Christian. And thank you. I'm not used to holding flowers. Thank you for everyone online for watching and for being a part of this. Daniel from Rancho Bernardos as Daniel Paikopoulos. We have Waleska from Yucaipa. We have Kevin Graham from Ithaca. We have Gina Cespedes from New York. We have everyone else. I will definitely send you a shout out. I will definitely go on to Facebook and send you some love. Thank you for being here. Thank you all so much. We will be in the family room. If you have any more questions, I know I cut you off earlier, but come and have a conversation with us. Thank you so much for being here. And that's a wrap for Wednesday night. We have one more song, so if we can all stand up for the congregational song.
I threw you for a loop. I threw you for a loop.
I'm gonna let you play. I will be joy. I will be peace. I will be love. Everything I need, I have within me. Everything I need, I have within me. I will be joy. I will be peace. I will be love. Everything I need, I have within me. Everything I need, I have within me. One more time. Everything I need, I have within me.
Everything
I need, I have within me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
Hello, thank you so much. That was Wednesday Night Power Up. Please talk to us at the end at the family room. And I'm getting pointed at to go, so I gotta get off stage. And it was great seeing you guys.
We are the power. We are powered up. We are ready. We have the power to be the change that we see in the world today. We are powered. We are powered up. We are powered. We are powered up. I'm powered up. We are powered up. Yay. All righty. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'll be right down there.
All righty. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good to see you.